Hi friends, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, during this crazy and unpredictable time of the pandemic, it's an understatement to say that our lives have certainly changed in many ways, both large and small. And today, I want to focus on one of the smaller ways that our lives have changed if we're over 50, over 60, or beyond. And one that I thought might be a little more lighthearted and hopefully fun. And it all has to do with our hair. Although we may be able to purchase home hair coloring kits if we color our hair, dealing with how long our hair may have become is a whole other issue. So since my hair has grown so long that I'm not able to style it the way I'd like to anymore, and since I'm thinking that some of you might just be facing this same situation, I thought it would be fun today to take a look at a few options for how we can deal with our longer locks. And I also thought it might be fun at the end to share some of our past hair horror stories. I'm sure many of us have at least one of those. If you're new to my channel, please let me extend a very special welcome. My name is Elise, and I'm a professional working makeup artist and usually focus on all things makeup related for those of us with mature skin. I upload new videos to YouTube each Thursday, and I do hope you'll consider joining our really wonderful family of subscribers by hitting that red subscribe button. And if you also hit the bell icon below the video and to the right, you'll be notified each time a new video is available. And I thank you so very much in advance if you choose to do so. There are many different scenarios playing out since hair salons are either closed or, if they are open in our part of the country, we may choose to wait a bit longer before venturing into a salon. And as a result of this, some of us who used to color our hair are letting it go gray, or we're using home hair coloring products. And many of us are probably also dealing with hair that is probably a lot longer than we've worn it for quite some time. For many years, I colored my hair, but when it eventually ended up looking a lot like straw, I started going to a salon and I never looked back, until now, of course. Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking as far ahead as many other people were regarding the hair coloring dilemma. So about 6 weeks into the initial pandemic shutdown in the US, I realized that I'd better purchase some hair coloring products. And I encountered sold out after sold out captions online under the products that I was interested in checking into. I'm wondering if any of you also experienced this. Well, luckily, I eventually was able to grab the last box of the product I was searching for at a local Target. But the other hair dilemma, how long it may have grown, poses a different challenge. So let's jump into having some fun with different options for our longer hair. Now, right off the bat, I have to say that I have absolutely no talent whatsoever when it comes to dealing with hair, but I've always been very fascinated with various hair products and tools, and have accumulated a few of them over the years, which I'll share with you. So even though I hope this video may provide a few ideas or inspiration, if nothing else, it very well could provide a few laughs along the way. And since laughter is great for our immune system, the timing may just be right for a video like this. So let's go ahead and start off by focusing on some hair tools that can help if our hair has gotten longer. First, of course, there are hair combs and headbands. The combs I'm going to show you can be used in two different ways: to keep the hair in place and also to add a little volume to areas of our hair. And these types of combs have been around for many years, and I'm sure you'll recognize them. They were really very popular in the 1940s, and I actually remember seeing my mom wear them. I'm going to go ahead and try a couple of these so you can take a look. You can put one of these combs in one way just to secure the hair by just pulling the hair back and pushing in the comb. Let me show you. Here's the type of comb that I'm talking about. And so all you need to do really to put the hair in place is to hold it back just a little bit and then simply slide the comb in. And that secures it and keeps it in place. So the other thing you can do is take the curved side and put it toward your face and then push it forward and in. I don't know how much you can tell, but that creates a little bit more volume as well as keeping the hair in place. These combs also come in a larger size, which obviously can do even more good to keeping the hair in place and adding more volume to a bigger area. You can also take the hair and twist it, and then take a comb, take one of your combs and catch the twist, and that adds a little bit more of a point to the hair volume. If nothing else, these combs do a pretty good job of keeping hair out of our face and eyes. And then you can always find combs that have some kind of decorative feature like this one I'll show you. This one, of course, is pretty fancy, but there are some really fun ones out there that have flowers or other kind of decorative articles on them. Now this is, again, the same kind of comb, and I'm going to, again, push it in to the side of my hair. Now, of course, you could put it anywhere on your hair. You could put it further up. You could put it in the back, but they're really kind of fun. The next comb is one that wraps around the entire head and is called an accordion comb. It can also add some fun volume if you work with it just a bit. This is what it looks like. At the end, it has this little feature which you can put into the other side of the comb, which keeps it together. Slide this one piece of the comb into the other end. I have the pointed ends up toward my face. I obviously have to be really careful so you don't poke yourself, but I find it easier to do it this way. I'm just going to bring this hopefully over my earrings so I don't pull those off. And then I'm just going to slide this back onto my head. And that, I don't know how much you can tell the kind of, because my hair is so dark, if you can tell the kind of look it creates, but it really is an effective job of keeping your hair back. And I sometimes like to wear this if I wear any kind of hairpiece, which I'll show you in a little bit. So what you can also do is you can play with this a bit and pull out the hair from the comb, which creates some more volume in front. And although I've never found any headbands that I thought were particularly comfortable or looked particularly good, there's always the option of scarves. So I'm just going to fold this scarf in half. Knot it. And then of course you can just work with it and tuck in the ends. Next, I want to share with you a product called a Bump It. These came in a package of several different sizes, and the whole purpose of these is to provide some lift and volume to our hair. I'm going to be using one that's more of a medium size. And of course, speaking of volume, some of you may remember, as I do, ratting the hair and the old beehive hairdo. Wow, that memory takes us back a few years. Well, we're going to actually do some ratting with this one. So this is what the Bump It product looks like. And what we do is we take a section of hair where we want to have some more volume, about a 2-inch section. And then you pull it straight up and you do a bit of ratting to the back. And then you place the Bump It right behind it and then spread out your hair. And obviously, if I were going to keep this in, I would use a little hairspray to keep it all in place. But as you can see, that really does add some volume. And as I said, there are bigger ones which really create volume, and there are some smaller pieces. Now let's get into some actual hair pieces and add-ons that create more length or volume or both. And these are easy clip-ins, which provide a little extra volume. Let me show you those first. So this is the clip-in, and they come in shorter pieces like this, or they come in longer sizes as well. And they have this little clip, I don't know how well this is going to show up, this little clip on the back. So right now that clip is open, but if I press it forward, that closes the clip and keeps it in place. You get a few of these when you order them. I think there were 6 in the package, either 6 or 8, can't remember exactly. But this is how it could work. So I'm going to add a little bit more volume to this side. So I want to tuck it in under here. And I'm going to just comb, there's a little tiny comb. I'm going to just press it back down now. And then I'm going to work my hair over it. It adds a little curl and it adds a little volume. And obviously I would add more all around my hair if I wanted to really increase the volume. So those can be fun little pieces just to clip in. So this is the next hair piece I want to show you, and it actually, it stretches out, but it's in a sort of permanent curl formation. And as you can see, it's very curly. There are 3 different clips. There's a clip, you're not going to be able to see the clips because they're so well embedded in the hair, but there's a clip at each end and there's one at the middle. And frankly, these clips are so little that they really don't do much. So I usually just add bobby pins. So what's fun about this is that you can add it in various areas. You might want to just pull your hair all the way over to the side and add it to the side, or you could certainly put it in back if you pulled your hair back. What I like to do is actually pull my hair back, and I'm going to just rubber band it back here quickly because we're going to get into some other hair pieces where I need to do this. So what I like to do with this particular hair piece is put it toward the back of my head and clip it into my hair, and that just provides some extra volume, which is something that I really need with my face shape. And of course I can also take a brush and I can brush this out so it's a little less curly. It will maintain its curl, however. That way it's not quite so curly. And I could simply pin it into my hair this way. The next hair piece is kind of fun. It's actually 2 small pieces that clip together. I think you can see the really big clip this has, and this is what it looks like on the front. So it comes in a set with 2 of these, and what you can do is just comb them in an area of your hair, clip them together, and play with it however you like. And there you have it. It's really quick and easy. Or of course, you can always put them down lower on your head as well. Or you could certainly clip them off to the side if you wanted to do that. But what I really love about these guys is that they're just so quick and easy. And in just a matter of a couple minutes, you can put your hair back if it's long enough to put up, then play with it, bobby pin it the way you want it, spray it if you want it, whatever. There you have it. This next hair piece is quite similar. It has 2 clip-in pieces, but as you can see, they're quite a bit longer. So when you clip these 2 in, you're really creating a lot more volume. And I'll just show you what it can look like in the back. And of course, you can always bobby pin down these pieces too, so they aren't sticking out like they are now. And we have one that's a lot bigger, that's much bigger clip, as you can probably see. Creates a lot more volume. And the interesting thing about this one is that you can flip it. You can either wear it like this, or you can flip it upside down, and that gives it a little bit different look. Now, obviously, I would play and get some hair mixed in with it of my own. I'll show you what that looks like from the side. It has mostly hair cascading down. But if I flip it around, it has more hair at the top, and it gives more volume on top, as you can probably see. Now, would obviously have to pin it in the back where I wanted it, but you can see how much longer that comes down and back. It's a much bigger piece. Now, I must say I've only worn these a few times over the past few years, but they are a lot of fun to play with. And usually, of course, I only wear them to some kind of special event. And then, of course, there's always the option of actual wigs. This one is way too big and long, but I've hung on to it thinking that if I experience a lot more hair loss at some point, I could take this wig into a stylist and have it cut to a workable length for me. If it's pulled back, it could become a lot more workable. And obviously, if it's a lot shorter, it could become a lot more workable. You can pull it up and create a partial updo as well. And okay, I guess I have never completely given up on that dream of being a blonde. And of course, if we really don't want to deal with our hair at all, we can always cover it up with hats. And if you live in a warm climate like I do, hats are actually a pretty necessary accessory. Here are a few that I've had some fun wearing over the past few years. And here's one I just couldn't resist because of the amazing colors. And I've enjoyed wearing this one on some Easter Sundays. And just to give you an idea, you can also flip this around so that the fun flower and other decorative pieces show up. So just for a few laughs, I thought it might be fun now to share a couple of hair horror stories. And I imagine you may have one as well. And if you do, I hope you'll share it in the comments section below. Well, as you could tell from the blonde wig earlier, like many brunettes, I always wondered what it would be like to be a blonde. So somehow in college, I managed to get my hands on a short blonde wig, and I wore it one day when I was student teaching at a high school. The teacher I was working with actually walked by me in one of the school hallways because she didn't recognize me. It looked awful, by the way, and thankfully I never got up the nerve to wear it again. So not being one to easily give up the idea of what I'd look like as a blonde, a few years later, after college, I went to a salon to give being a blonde another go, and I actually ended up with green hair. Needless to say, that was the last of my experiments on my own hair related to becoming a blonde. I hope this video sparked a few ideas or inspiration, or if nothing else, generated a few laughs along the way. I thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. And in the comments section below, I'd love to hear about your hair journey during the pandemic and what kinds of steps you've taken or products you've used to deal with hair challenges over the past few months. Or if you have any hair horror stories that you'd like to share, would love to hear those as well. I hope to see you next week, and in the meantime, I send you warm wishes for good health and happiness, and hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.